In this video, we are gonna go over manifestation blocks, which are trying to protect you from getting your desire because your nervous system feels super unsafe. If that sounds confusing, then stick around because I'm gonna explain it, and this is what I've learned throughout the years of practicing manifestation. Because listen up, I used to believe that manifestation was just about changing my beliefs. Well, yes, but the truth is, it's actually not fully that. Truthfully, a lot of us have manifestation blocks that are not allowing us to fully change our beliefs, to fully embody that new identity that we want, that new self concept that you've learned about in other videos and manifestation content. And these blocks, they have to be addressed. They're not like something which you can easily think about and easily fix. You need to spend time with them. You need to go through them. But it's so worth it, even though it might be a little bit hard to do so. And in this video, I will be showing you what these two blocks are, and I'll tell you what they are right now. Number one is you have past baggage around your desire. And number two is you are currently in survival mode patterns, both of which are dysregulating your nervous system and makes your own body, makes your own mind want to push your manifestation away because it sees your manifestation as a threat to your life. It sounds extreme. It sounds crazy, I know, but hear me out. I'll give you a personal example of how this showed up in my life, of me having these two manifestation blocks and being unable to get my manifestation. So my personal story is one where I was trying to manifest a desired relationship of mine. And what I found out was that when I did go out and approach people and try to meet new people and see where it led me, like the connection, where would it go? Could it potentially turn out to be something more? There was always this part of me that was terrified of commitment, and I would unknowingly self-sabotage. This part of me, whenever I did at that time meet someone new, I was interested in them, and it seemed like the connection could go somewhere new, I would be terrified in their presence. Like, terrified. I would actually be scared to be around that person because I was afraid, oh, what if they reject me and things go wrong? Or, oh, what if it turns out they don't like me because of this certain character trait I have, or because of the way I look, or whatever. And those fears were so strong in my body that whenever I was with that person and talking to them and getting to know them, I couldn't make eye contact. I felt super stiff and awkward. And everything I said seemed to just be so stiff, awkward, and uncomfortable, and I could tell they were picking up on it. And then, of course, they started to distance themselves from me because of the icky energy that I was putting out, and I was just being super tense, stiff, and rigid. And then I would go and try to chase after them, and it turned into a really uncomfortable game of just me chasing and them pulling away until I finally snapped out of it and broke down one day thinking, what is my problem? Why do I keep getting scared? Why am I literally kind of scared of my manifestation? And why do I feel scared of potential romantic partners? So I sat down, thought to myself, and then the answer came. The reason why I was scared so much of being around potential people like this that could give me the romance in my mind that I always wanted was because in my past I experienced negative situations around this manifestation. And this is tied to the first block, which I'll be going into, which is past baggage around your desire, which your own nervous system, which your body, which your mind is trying to protect you from. Because here's the thing, in the past, around the specific people that I was interested in and I wanted to get to know, like my type, that exact type of person who was confident and sure of themselves, and they were bold and brave, that type of person who was also loud and funny, was threatening to me, because when I was younger, as a child, as a wee little kid, when I was like 10 or even younger, I had an experience where I was isolated and bullied by those type of kids. And so for child me, she formed a very negative experience, a very negative memory around people who would be confident, charismatic, loud, funny, and obnoxious. And in the future, when I did meet someone that was confident, that was loud, but they were kind as well, they had good traits as well, there was a little girl within me that would see the parts of them that were confident and were loud and funny, and would just focus on those parts, not the good, not the other good traits, and she would run and be terrified because she was scared if she was around that person, then they would hurt her, they would bully her like they did in the past. They would isolate her like those younger kids did in the past. And so for the longest time, I couldn't figure out why I was sabotaging potential connections like this, so stiff, and I was just so afraid until I found this out. Until I found out that this was just a trauma response from a negative situation I had in the past around people. And after I healed this, after I let this go, and after I told myself and soothed the little child that it'll be okay, this fear of mine went away. This past baggage went away. And then I was able to successfully manifest, successfully meet new people, and be open. And I was able to form true, deep, authentic, loving connections with these types of people that had these character traits. But this time, it was nice. My now current self feels safe in their presence, and conversations are so much more open. I'm so authentic. I feel secure. I feel safe. I feel peaceful. I'm not self-sabotaging anymore. And because of that, I radiate charisma, and it opened up so many new doors for incredible relationships and social circles in my life. So, with this story, I just want you to understand how unknowingly, even without you knowing, because these blocks are sneaky, okay? You need to really look deep within yourself to find these blocks, because they act and show up in ways that seem normal to you, but are actually a sign of a dysregulated nervous system, and it's not healthy and it's not normal. And so you might have past baggage related to your desire, your manifestation as well, which a younger version of you, a little boy, a little girl, whoever it is trying to protect you from getting your desire, so you don't have to get hurt again like you did in the past. And now, let's get more deeper into this. Let's get more deeper into how does past baggage exactly affect your manifestation. If you have past trauma, past memories, old perceptions, negative experiences, whatever, that relates to your manifestation, or in general, negative beliefs around your manifestation that you secretly have, your nervous system is terrified that it will hurt you, so it will try to push it away and not make you manifest it at all. God, the universe, will be trying to give that desire to you, will actually want to give the desire to you. But because you are not in a place where you feel safe enough to hold it, safe enough to receive it, God, the universe, can't give it to you because you can't hold it, you can't contain it. Otherwise, if you do get the desire, then your body's going to freak out even without you knowing, and you're going to push it away. And I want you to think of it this way. You know how babies are extremely precious and you should hold them very carefully and very gently and rock them and treat them like they're the most precious thing, the most delicate thing in the world, right? Let's say your desire is like a baby. Compare it to that. If God wants to give you a baby to hold, but you are terrified of babies and you're like ready to bolt and you don't want to touch it because you're kind of scared, and the last time you held a baby it threw up all over you, so you're kind of like icky about it, and you're making all these like weird face expressions like I don't really want this. The last time I held a baby it threw up on me, and then I did not feel good, I was stinky, and the dry cleaning bill was super expensive. If you're like that, and if you're making faces like that, and if you're like stiff and tense, then God, like a parent in general, would not feel comfortable with you holding their baby, right? Because it's obvious you don't really want it. It's obvious you're kind of resisting it, and you're just trying to just close your eyes to the fear and the uncomfortable sensation. No. The parent would want to give you the baby to hold if you actually wanted to hold the baby. And you looked at it and you were cooing at it and you're like, oh, it's so adorable, and it's so cute, and you're excited to hold it. If you're like that, if you're actually looking forward to it, and if you're actually safe and you feel comfortable holding the baby, then the parent would give it to you. Parent won't give it to you if you're like icked out and you're stiff and you're kind of scared. Okay? And just like that, God will only be able to send you the desire you want if you're able to hold it properly without fear, without discomfort. Okay? Kind of a funny analogy, I know. But here's the thing. Your nervous system, the part of your primal instincts that is trying to protect you, trying to keep you alive, trying to keep you safe, that worked when you were in the caveman era, doesn't work now, and is frankly sabotaging you now. And here's the weird part about how our nervous systems work. Even though the desire is gonna transform your life in a much better way, it's gonna make you happier, it's gonna make you feel more confident, gonna make you more wealthier, healthier, more just joyful. Your nervous system is gonna still resist it if it has past negative experiences around it. Like, for example, if someone is trying to manifest their dream body, trying to manifest weight loss, and currently they are overweight, if they are trying to change their beliefs and manifest weight loss, but deep inside of them, deep inside of their mind, there is a nervous system programming that is along the lines of weight loss is hard because it means I have to eat things that I hate. Or it could be a past experience where you were maybe like starving yourself in the past, and that felt uncomfortable, and that made you feel super sad and you felt horrible. Or maybe you had a past experience where maybe food in your childhood was really scarce, so your nervous system forms a programming that we need to eat as much as possible because we don't know the next time we'll get food. And maybe you have another piece of programming, a negative belief that having a healthy body means you have to constantly do things you don't want to. You have to constantly strain yourself. You have to constantly eat disgusting food. You have to do all that. And all of that is a negative belief, a limiting belief, actually, because they're not true. You are the one that can set the preference for your reality. You are the one who dictates how you can manifest something. So if you actually want manifesting weight loss to be fun, to be easy, and you want it to allow you to eat delicious, healthy food that's healthy and delicious and helps you lose weight, then you can totally do that. But a lot of people, they have this like negative belief, that weight loss means sacrifice. Getting a healthy dream body means sacrifice. It means starving yourself. It means hurting yourself. And so if you have all of this like negative perception around your desire, like, oh, this good thing will actually be a result of this bad thing, then the person trying to manifest weight loss will never, ever be able to. Never. Because they don't feel safe with it. Just like the baby. They don't feel safe holding the desire because they're scared the baby's going to throw up all over them and pee all over them and make their life worse. And even though that person desperately can desire weight loss and their dream body so they can finally feel confident, so they can finally get rid of their health problems and finally just be happier and more active and have more energy, because of all of this trauma surrounding that desire, they can't receive it. And that's why this work is so important. This work of looking at this block and uncovering it and letting those negative beliefs quiet down and letting go of them. letting the past baggage go, letting the old go is so, so, so crucial, so important. Because you might think, well, it's okay. I'll cover it up with an affirmation. Like, yeah, I'm kind of scared that, if I do lose weight, it would mean that it'll be really painful, it'll be hard, and I have to constantly eat food I don't want to, and constantly exercise, even though I don't want to, 5 hours or whatever. I know that, and I'm kind of icked out by it, but I'm just going to brute force my way, and I'm going to keep doing these affirmations, doing these visualizations, keep doing these whatever manifestation practices, methods that I gotta do. You might be thinking it's okay to do that, but here's the thing. That's what I thought as well. And you can never actually escape these beliefs. Just because you ignore them, just because you suppress them, doesn't mean that they're not there, and doesn't mean that they're not going to be affecting your life, okay? So it's better if you just face them head on, look them in the eye, get curious about them, see what caused them, and then just let them go. So you can finally feel safe and make space for the new in your life and feel safe enough to receive your desire. And another example of how this could show up in money manifestations is when, as a child or in the past, you've always had negative associations told about money to you. Like, maybe there is a part of you that always believed, if I make money, then it means I need to give up my childlike freedom. If I earn a lot of money and do well in a good career, then it means I need to sacrifice my fun. I have to be serious all the time. I can't be silly, I can't have fun, and making money is an adult responsibility, and I have to let go of my childlike joy and whimsy to manifest it. If you have that belief, your nervous system is going to hate it and repel that desire from you. But the thing is, with a lot of our beliefs, they're not set in stone, because remember, reality is a preference. If you say you got to give up responsibility, you can't have any more fun to manifest money, then that's what the world will show you. That's what God will show you. But if you say, I can have fun and manifest money, then that's what you will be shown. You are a mirror to the external world. What you do, what you say internally goes. That's the law, okay? And reality is your preference, truly. You can make your reality show you how easy it is to manifest, show you how easy it is to earn money. Without even working hard, you can earn money. Without even being constantly vigilant and constantly people-pleasing, you can effortlessly earn love. Without even fearing someone's going to be cheating, someone's going to be disloyal to you, you can manifest love and you can form authentic, wonderful connections. So, with that being said, the last analogy that I want to give for this section is the purge analogy. This is kind of a funny one, okay? And to show you how this exactly shows up in your world, how past baggage affects you, I want you to look at this for a second. So if you've seen the movie Purge, it's about how basically all laws in a country or in the world are removed. So every single crime is now legal. It's not punishable. There's no jail time. People just go crazy and they do all of these crimes. They steal stuff. They do the worst crimes. And it's overall just a chaotic mess. And in the Purge universe, if you were living there, you would be very, very stressed. You would be very, very hyper vigilant and protective of yourself, right? Because there's no laws. People can do whatever the crap that they want. They can buy a gun. They can, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but they can do all these crazy things, right? And in the Purge, if you've lived in the Purge for a couple of days, you are going to have a very hyperactive, alert nervous system. Because you know that there's a lot of bad things happening. You know that, this is kind of chaotic and it's kind of scary to trust people. It's kind of scary. It's a scary world. And then your nervous system is going to be in this high alert phase. But if, on the other hand, you were living in a quiet suburb, town, movie-esque place where everyone is just friendly, it's all calm, and you live near a rural farm or something nearby, and there's chickens, your neighbors are all nice, you get mail delivered to your door or whatever, life is chill, life is relaxing, you just cook breakfast, you go to work, and you come home. that type of situation seems very safe and is very safe, right, to your nervous system. But here's the thing. If you have a nervous system that's programmed to the purge, like let's say you experience the purge one day, and then years and years and years later, you're now living in the suburbs. In the suburbs, you are still going to have that purge nervous system if you did not properly let go of it and properly make peace with it and regulate yourself. And so, because of all the bad memories that you have, you're living a good, peaceful life, and the world around you is good and peaceful and safe. But you still have that old nervous system with you, which is terrified of people, which is terrified of anything new. So what's going to happen? You're going to lock yourself in your room, in your house. You're going to try to board up the walls. You're going to try to make defenses, set up security cameras, and you are going to basically, whenever the mailman even comes and rings your doorbell, you're going to get very alert and grab your baseball bat to protect yourself. And this is what it looks like to have a dysregulated nervous system that you properly haven't soothed. So there might have been a past experience, like for you, that was similar to the purge in a way, where you were alert, you were vigilant, something negative happened. It could have been a very toxic situation with a person that made you distrust everyone. It could have been an extremely negative experience with money and your upbringing that taught you that money was horrible, money was evil, money just causes greed. And that nervous system is still staying with you even though that situation happened already, and now you're living a peaceful, good life where it's safe in the suburbs. And now in your current life, in your current reality, you aren't able to fully relax and enjoy the life you have in front of you and let your desire come to you because of your fear. And so with that being said, now we're going to move on to the second manifestation block, which is a survival mode state of mind. Now, a lot of people talk about survival mode and dysregulated nervous systems online, I know. But the thing is, I've never really seen anyone that talks about what actually causes a survival mode. Because, here's the thing. If you heal your past baggage, if you let go of trauma, and if you regulate yourself, but you still feel like you're in a state of survival mode, then this is why. It's because you are not living a life that's truly, truly authentic to you, and you are not truly expressing your authenticity to the fullest. And an inauthentic life is a life where you are doing things you don't want to. You are talking to people and being around people you don't even vibe with, and maybe you're putting on a mask around them and not expressing yourself honestly. And also, you don't truly love, accept, and honor the good parts of you and the shadow parts of you that you're afraid people will see. Kind of sounds a little complicated, but it's super simple. Trust me. This is what living inauthentically looks like. You are just hiding what makes you you and settling for a life where you just feel pain, you feel discomfort and stress, but you go along with it. You just brute force your way through life. And most people, when they're in this state, they never ever manifest what they want. Actually, no one can manifest what they want when they're in this state, okay? Because a dysregulated nervous system, a survival mode state, cannot accept anything new coming into their life. So that good desire that you have of maybe bringing in a wonderful career that you want, like a career of becoming a musician, you would love to do that and it would be so fun and you want to manifest it. You are gonna feel so much resistance to it because to your body right now, anything new is a threat. Anything that is different from the norm is scary, it is the unknown, and it could be a possible dangerous threat. And that's why a lot of people, when they're facing pain, when they're in depression, or when they have a lot of mental health issues, they actually end up not wanting to change because their body is just so used to the feelings of emptiness, to the feelings of sadness for how long? I don't know, years, 10 years, whatever. They're so used to it that anything different is very uncomfortable to them and frankly scares them. Because sadness is predictable. Sadness is comforting because you know that this is what is going to happen, this is how you're going to feel. Getting rejected by people is predictable to your body. Getting rejected, having your hopes crushed is predictable. It's safe for your body. Even though it makes you feel horrible, that emotion is what you're used to. So your body, your nervous system likes it. But let's say one day something out of the norm happens. You, who's always used to getting rejected by people, someone is finally interested in you, and someone reaches out to you, someone's kind, someone's loving, and they want to be with you. What will happen is that even if that miracle happens, since your nervous system is so dysregulated and so used to the survival mode state of being rejected, you are going to self-sabotage that connection. You're going to end up being too clingy, being too needy and desperate for them and repel them. Or you're going to end up pushing them away out of fear and saying the wrong thing, and you feel insecure about yourself, you feel nervous, you feel anxious, you don't know what you're going to do. And it's just a super stressful connection because, hey, this miraculous good thing happened. But because it's so new and something you're not used to, your body thinks it's danger, thinks it's a threat to your peaceful life of sadness, and throws it away, self-sabotages and pushes it away. And that's why it's very important to actually heal out of this. And this is how I like to see it. So let's talk about the baseline. And this is an analogy I've created which puts survival mode into perspective and how it affects your desires. So there's always a baseline for our energetic state, for our emotions. And this in the middle right here is the baseline. And when you're in the baseline, you're calm. You feel peaceful. Life's pretty chill. It's normal. And nothing too good happens and nothing too bad happens. It's just a regular, normal state. It's like fine. You're okay with it. And you're pretty calm. Sometimes happy. It's like really going good. It's peaceful. And you like it. It's relaxing. This is the baseline, right? Survival mode is under the baseline. It is below the baseline. So you're like down here, okay, in a worse state, and you feel like you're in danger. You feel like things are chaotic around you. You're constantly stressed. You're worried. You're anxious. And you're in the state, but you are trying to manifest a super wonderful life, an incredible desire, which is not just here at the baseline, but above the regular baseline. So your manifestation is up here. It's up here. Your goals, your dreams, the life you want to accomplish, the life you want to live, and everything that you want, the family, the career, the good life, it's up here. And this is the baseline, and this is survival mode. If you want to be able to feel safe receiving and actually manifest what you want, you can't do it from survival mode to manifestation. You need to get to the baseline first, where you're consistently feeling calm, your mental health is good, and you just feel pretty happy with your life already. Like your life is pretty good and it's going good. And then you will be able to receive your manifestation. You'll be able to receive something incredibly new because your body and your nervous system is no longer in a state of, I must protect, everything around me is a threat, anything new, change is a threat. Since your body's no longer in that, your body's more open, like, okay, sure, why don't we step out of our comfort zone and see what happens? Yeah, sure, this is kind of new. It's a big change, but maybe this will be fun. Like, maybe this manifestation will be fun. Yeah, well, life is pretty good. I feel pretty calm right now and peaceful, so why not stretch ourselves a little bit to embody this new desire and manifest it? That's what it's like, okay, to manifest from the baseline. And that's the place that you need to reach first in order to receive it. So, getting to the baseline, how do you exactly do it? I've mentioned it before, but it's actually really like you just living an authentic life where you're happy. You just living a good life where you are someone that you love to be. You have friendships, authentic connections that you value. You're not constantly people-pleasing. You're not doing things you don't want to. You're in a career that isn't sucking the soul out of your body, but it's pretty good. It's peaceful. It's nice. Maybe it's not the career that you're manifesting, but this career isn't as stressful as the one you were previously in. This one's more chill, your coworkers are pretty good, and you're just relaxing and enjoying it. And so when you reach this baseline where you are pretty much living a good, authentic life, like through your actions, and you're surrounded by people that are authentic to you, and you're expressing and communicating yourself authentically, as well as you truly, genuinely love yourself, you actually love the good parts of you and the shadow parts of you, because we all have light and shadow sides within us, the good and the bad. And instead of pushing a certain part of us away, pushing certain character traits, pushing personality traits, or pushing things that make us away, when we integrate all of that within ourselves whole, that's when we feel the most fulfilled, happy, and authentic and joyful. Like, for example, I just want to give you a quick example for this, but I go really in depth into this in my Mindset and Habits Masterclass / the Co-Creator's Path, like completely how to be authentic, completely how to heal out of survival mode and get back to the baseline. So if you want to check it out, you can. First link in the description. It's on pre-sale right now for a limited time, so you'll get a really good price for it right now. And anyways, I want to give you an example of how I did this. So for me, to harmonize like my inner good and my inner bad in quotes, by the way, because maybe this is the first time you've heard of it. This is also called shadow work, by the way, was to understand like my fears around my manifestation, like the opposite of my manifestation, and then just accepting it, integrating it, and sinking in the fear. Like, for example, when I was manifesting authentic relationships and forming wonderful connections, a really big fear that I had was the fear of rejection, of being seen as someone that was unattractive, and being seen as someone that wasn't good enough, and being seen as someone that was just not fun to be around. And so what happened was that there was a part of me, those character traits, that those parts within me that I was desperately trying to suppress, desperately trying not to feel that way, desperately trying to push away. And especially the fear of being unattractive was a very strong one. And I was trying to just push that in deep down within me. And that just, obviously, the more you suppress something, the more it shows up in your life without you knowing and wreaks havoc in your life until you actually face it head on. So it just like messed up my manifestation. I never saw results until I actually sat down, looked at my fears of rejection, looked at ugliness and feeling ugly and being an ugly person, looked at that part of me, looked at all the things that I was afraid of being an ugly person, of being someone that was not fun to be around, of being someone that's rejected and left alone and abandoned. And then I just accepted it, sat with it, accepted it, and processed it and let it flow through me. And again, if you want the deeper process, if you want to have like a step-by-step practical guided method for how you can do this, it's all in my program, the Mindset and Habits Masterclass, as well. And moving on, when you do start to live an authentic life, your nervous system feels safe, and this block just boom bursts, and then your desire comes in, because being authentic, expressing yourself authentically, is signaling, I am safe. I am safe to be me. I am safe to live as me. I am safe to express myself. Because if you truly felt safe, truly felt peaceful in your body, and truly felt genuinely secure, you would be your most authentic self. You would live an authentic life. You would say things that are authentic to you, even if it's a little controversial, even though if you know people would not like it. You choose to express yourself as you are because you're teaching yourself, it's okay, we are safe, we're not in danger. But when you mold yourself differently and wear masks, you're teaching yourself it is not safe to be me. It is not safe to be me. So I must twist myself, mold myself, otherwise I will be abandoned, otherwise I will be hurt and abandoned, and I will end up alone. And I know our society was conditioned to be this way. Like, our society is basically built on just living an authentic life. Like, you're expected to conform to certain standards that society has. Like, you need to get a certain job like this, you need to get a house like this, you need to get married at this age, or you can't be someone who's into that, you can't be someone who likes that. And we have all of these like restrictions and all of these like molds that we are forced into that's not authentic for everyone. And that causes so many dysregulated nervous systems in our society. So many people have mental health problems from living an disauthentic life. Disauthentic. That's not even a word. Inauthentic life. And even this continues into something much deeper, which is negative coping mechanisms. Addictions, alcohol, drugs, smoking. All of these harmful addictions as well, they just stem from a dysregulated nervous system and not living an authentic life where they're truly expressing themselves. Mental health causes negative coping mechanisms. When you are in survival mode, you might have noticed it's uncontrollable for you to actually do actions that are good for you and will build the reality that you want. Like, for example, if a woman with a dysregulated nervous system desires to manifest weight loss and actually wants to feel confident in her body, when she's in survival mode, because her body is in a constant state of danger and stress, she's going to reach towards unhealthy coping mechanisms, such as junk food, to soothe that part of her that's just so stressed and scared and alert and tense. This is why most people binge eat. They binge eat not because they can't control themselves and not because they have a willpower issue or a discipline issue or they're just lazy. It's not because of that at all. And it's very shallow to think that way, because the truth about binge eating and this addiction is that most people binge eat because their bodies are in a state of stress and they do it for comfort, to soothe them, to make them numb to the pain. And so this woman desiring weight loss, she knows that she shouldn't be eating this food, but she can't control it. She just keeps eating it and eating it and eating it, even though she doesn't want to. And it's sabotaging her manifestation because she's gaining more weight, she's gaining more pounds because of it. And another example would be procrastination. Like a student trying to manifest good grades. This was me in the past, by the way. They want to study, but they just can't. And they reach for their phone and they scroll instead, or they go and watch a video and they know they have to study so they can get the good grade and be happy, but they can't. They just can't physically because their body, for me personally, I had a huge fear of failure. I was extremely stressed about grades. I put my self-worth onto my grades, so it caused a lot of pressure on me. And then because of all that stress and pressure that I was feeling, from school and the people around me, it gave me so much stress, and I would reach for my phone instead of studying. Until I actually got out of that cycle, made myself feel calm again, removed my self-worth out of my grades, out of my desire. And then I breathed and I told myself I was worthy as I am. I started living authentically. I started to love myself and accept all parts of me. And I learned about manifestation at that time, and I was just calm, peaceful, and I just at a good baseline. And then I began to be able to be so disciplined and so consistent studying. It was so easy once I did that. And I was consistent, I was disciplined, and I won awards at school for it just because of this. And I would look at the other students around me, and I would notice they all were just so stressed throughout their day-to-day lives about grades. And that was actually the reason they couldn't get good grades, because they put their worth onto that and they defined getting good grades as everything in their reality, as everything in their life. Without it, they would be worthless human beings, is what they believed, which is so sad and so upsetting. But I want to just tell you, if you are expecting your desire to come and save you and tell you that you're worthy, please don't do that. You are already worthy inherently as you are right now. And a desire cannot make you happy, truly. Anything external cannot make you happy, truly. Only your connection to yourself, fulfilling yourself and making yourself feel good by getting back to the baseline and improving your connection to God and understanding that God loves you, God cherishes you and holds you as you are without you having to change anything, without you having to prove yourself to anyone or anything. So with that being said, manifestation does require aligned action. It does require you to take some form of inspired action where you are in a state where you have embodied fully the beliefs of the version of you that already has your desire, and you already are just so deep in the feeling of already having it, and you got rid of your manifestation blocks, you're at a good baseline. You're going to be able to take action in the outer world, which requires you to get to that baseline first, and that action will help you to receive that desire of yours sent by God. And so this is why I talk a lot about like negative coping mechanisms and addictions on my channel as well, because your habits, your actions, like what you do every single day, is very important for creating your reality. Your daily habits is what determine what your reality will look like. So I know I talked a lot in this module. I know like I've said a lot of things, but I just want to tell you now that you don't have to do this alone. If it sounds really confusing and you don't know where to start, how do I heal out of survival mode? How do I get out of my negative coping mechanisms and addictions? And how do I get back to a baseline? You can go through my YouTube channel, look at the videos that I have. I try to make them as actionable as possible. And of course, if you want more in-depth help along with personalized DM opportunities with me, you can check out the first link in the description to join my Mindset and Habits Masterclass / the Co-Creators Path. So if what I'm teaching resonates with you and you like it and you vibe with it, you can check it out. But if you're ready to go deeper, you can really start doing that with this opportunity right now. Okay, so thank you for watching. Bye. I will see you in the next video.